Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk about PySpark joins and some of the issues that could happen in your real-time scenarios, and let's try to replicate that and how to solve it. So the main intention is know the basics and how to handle it and how do you want to convey it, how do you want to shape it, how do you want to face it. So this is all what we are trying. I am trying to tell you in this sessions. So today let's see what can be the possible ways of do's and don'ts in doing a join and yeah, let's get started. For initially we need to create a particular orders table. So let's say orders underscore data is equal to I was correct, 1 comma c1 and p1. Okay, now let's create another one. Two, there we have two, three, yeah. And this is C1 P1, this is C2, I want this as C2 P2, I want this to be C1 P1, and I want this to be C3 P3. Okay, there we are. Then let's say orders underscore calls is equal to mhm, order underscore ID, customer ID, and product ID. Let's create a data frame df underscore orders is equal to spark dot create data frame mhm, order data. Yeah, there we have. We got everything. Super intelligent. Let's display this. Serverless cluster always, and the one that we have is a minimum one. Okay, so it takes some time. But if you have in your enterprise level, you would be having some decent amount of configurations for this. You see, this is not a big data for us to take so much of seconds. Anyways, I need to talk more about this clusters and serverless things. Maybe let's discuss in the last, which is equally very important to know the best thing to select. Okay, now let's create some products data table. Products underscore data. Oh, I don't want this. Come on. Sometimes intelligence overtakes what I need. P1, and let's say this is phone. Ah, come on. And let's say we have P2 as laptop, P3 as tablet. I want one more thing to be duplicated for us to clearly understand what things are about. Okay, so let's say once again, let's create P1, but let's keep, phone hyphen new model. This is interesting. Now let's have the column name, column headers, products underscore call is equal to product ID and product name. Yeah, product data, product columns dot show. Let's execute this. Oh yeah, I had a mistake over here. Oh, it's not it should be this. Mm, 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 mm. Let me figure out. Oh yeah, there's comma missing. Oh, my bad. It's good that we see these mistakes when happening because we don't do it again. It's good that we see errors. I always love seeing it. Right, so display df underscore products. We can also do one more thing, okay? Like instead of this, there is one more way of displaying. So it's df underscore products dot show. Both results are same, but this is one way of writing in PySpark. Yeah, we got that. Now, before we do a joining between these two tables, I always would prefer you take the count of these two tables so that you understand the parity about what is happening, how much data do we have, and then you know what's going to happen after a join so that you know some fair understanding about the data that you have, right? Uh, you should have a purview about what you're going to consume. So let's say df um, orders count, df underscore orders dot count. Similarly, let's say print products count, yeah, df dot df dot products dot count. There we are. Let's run this. It is always good to know what we have. So in orders count, I have 4. In products count, also I have 4. Let's check. Yeah, 4. Here also I have 4. Let's perform an inner join. I hope you guys would be knowing inner join, but just in case if people are very new to this data engineering, I'm not going into the very basic level, but understand inner join means when there are two tables, table 1 and table 2, and you have a ID in both the tables, and if, when you do an inner join, whenever there is a match found between these two tables, it forms your resultant only for that match. But if it is, let's say for left join, whoever is matching, also whoever is present in the left hand table will be a part in that resultant table. And that's the same for our right join. Whoever stays in the right hand and whoever matches will be there. Only thing, the resultant column will have blank values, but whatever we see in the left will be seen. Okay, now let's do an inner join over here. Let's use title card. I love this inner join. Let's say df underscore joined is equal to df underscore orders dot join. Join what? Df underscore product with what? With it should be egg on equal to product underscore id and how equal to inner. What you saw before with that intelligence is also correct. We can even skip that thing instead of saying left table dot equal to right table dot product, because on the both the sides, if the key is same, if the column name is same, you could go ahead with this. Okay, so we say how is equal to inner. If you want to left, you can say instead of inner left over here. Now let's say df underscore joined dot show, and let's print it out. This is a very good habit to print as joined, say inner join. Always make it readable. Inner joined count. is equal to what? df underscore joined dot count, right? And let's execute this. Okay, the product ID could not be resolved on the left side of the join. Okay, this is good. So, did we make any mistake? Product underscore ID ideally should have worked. Ideally should have worked, but let's then rearrange it because ah, this is strange. Okay, actually, this should have worked. Let me come back one sec. Here it is, guys. See, this is a very classic example. Oh my God. Things are happening the right way. See, I did a print schema for the two tables that we have. Okay, so I have DF orders and DF products print schema in the same cell. What did you notice? The product ID sees the same, right? There is no change, I mean, in the caps lock or lowercase, uppercase. But if you see sharper, there is a space over here, which means when I created the table, I had a space, double space, or bad. Let's run it once again. You don't have to run everything, but let's do it. And let's see the print schema. See, it got corrected. Now it should be working. Ta-da! There we have. Now, what was your expectation? When I do an inner join, I have 4 here. If it is 1 to 1, I should have got 4. But I got 6 because I had a duplicate issue and it got duplicated, right? So, right, so we had a duplicate here. This is what is going to happen if you do an inner join without knowing the actual data behind it. Now, what I want you guys to think is what might be the reason. So you have to ask questions. So now in this case, it's one to many relation. It can happen. It can have. Sometimes they may say clean the data. The one which you see with phone new model is not relevant. It should have been phone only. It's a duplicate data. Then how do you handle it, right? This is what we need to ask the right question and get things, sorted. Now, one interesting thing that I can assure you is in interviews, commonly asked question will be how do you find the duplicates in the table or in a data frame? So if it is PySpark, in SQL, it's how it is being done. But I'll have a separate session for SQL or a PySQL. But for PySpark, let's say df underscore products dot group by what? Product ID dot count dot show, right? So it says P1 is having two records, whereas P2 and P3 are unique. So the key column, if it is product ID, is having a duplicate. Now, if the engagement or the data owner says it's a duplicate, you can remove that and proceed. Then it's simple, right? So let's say title as remove duplicates. Oh, remove the duplicates. Come on, come on, come on. So df underscore products underscore dtube is equal to df underscore products dot drop duplicates from which column? Product ID. Let's remove this and once again, uh, 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 oh, I understand it should be inside the square brackets. There is a purpose of the square brackets. So if you want to consider only this column, then have product ID. But if you want to check the duplicate in all the columns, you will have to put comma C1, C2, C3, etc. So it will check the duplicates if it is in all the columns and then remove. But now I'm saying check the duplicate only for the product ID. If you see in the products table, right, P1, P1 is the same, but the second column is different. So if I say P1, I mean C1 and C2, it doesn't remove that. Let's also play around with that. I'm very good to show that. But before that, let's run this once again. Now we will have P1 as 1. Sorry. You should be doing this with this data frame. Okay, df dot group by product ID dot count dot show. You see that? It's unique. Now let's bring the second column name as well. Product name also, if you want to remove, what will happen? It will not remove. But here is a problem. Now we are working in a data frame which has already been removed, right? Which has already been removed. So there is no, so even if you run, you will get the same result. I'm so sorry. Yeah, my bad. Right? Now, let's run this. Okay? And again run this. It hasn't removed. It will not remove. It will not remove. Correct? Now, if I say I want only with product ID, you remove the duplicates. You will see this being removed. So that's how it works. Now we are good to do a join, right? So df underscore fixed is equal to df dot orders dot join df underscore dtube on what? On equal to product ID. How is equal to inner? Right. And let's say df underscore fixed dot show, and let's say print df underscore fixed dot count. Yeah. No. I wanted, okay, let's have something like this. Fix count underscore df dot fix dot count. There you have 4. exactly what you have on the left hand side, right? You only have four. Once you got joined, you got four. That's how your inner join works. Now let's see. So one thing I wanted to confirm or say to you guys is always ask the business before removing the duplicates. On which terms or on which columns do you want to consider for us to remove the duplicates? Ask the right question, right? Now let's see. They don't want to duplicate anything. They want to do some aggregates before the joining. Let's say there are two records, P1 and the sale amount is 10, P1 sale amount is 100. It's not a duplicate, it's a transaction. So we can do a group by P1 and say sum of this is what 110, or we can say max of the second sales column. Pick up that picks the value called 100. So you need to understand, you need to ask the business, what do you want us to do? So I can show you like how to do an aggregation, but for that let's import a function from PySpark.sql.functions import. I don't want call, but let's simply keep call. It's always good to learn while you learn, no? What all we learned yesterday. So call, when, lit, but now what we need is max. Okay, let's run this. And I want to say df underscore product underscore aggregate is equal to df underscore product. I need products dot group by what? By product ID and say dot aggregate dot aagg. Let's pick the max of product underscore name. Let's give an alias name. Alias, its product name. Okay. Now let's show this off. So df underscore product underscore aggregate dot show. So here you will get only one record for P1. As simple as that. Now let me show you about left join also, just to let you know how the records will be differing. So let's do a left join here. Right, so it's df underscore left is equal to df underscore orders dot join. I don't want df underscore fixed. I want to join with df underscore products on equal to product ID underscore ID, how equal to left. Okay, yeah, and let's say print left count df underscore count, sorry, underscore left dot count, and the intent is wrong. Here it should be. Let's do. We got 6. It's not going to reduce the number of rows. right? So whatever it matches, whatever we have on the left will be taken. So we have 6 rows, it's correct. Um, if you want, we can even display it. Dot show. Now let's also, I was saying that there is another way of doing it, right? So let me just copy this product ID alone. I had a technical glitch in the recording session. So what I was trying to say is there is another way where you can have a different syntax in your joining methods. So if your columns in both the tables are different, get those column names from print schema and then have it with you with the condition like or with the syntax like table 1 dot column name equal to table 2 dot column name. But if you're sure that both the columns are same, then always go with the previous method that we have. It makes looks readable, else it's fine. Both the ways it works fine. Okay, I'm just executing for you to see the results. So that's how it works. Now, just summarizing what we have seen today. So joins don't, increase the data randomly. They reflect the relationship between the tables. So once you have this understanding and you have achieved this level of mindset, then you are having a core data engineering skill within yourself. And to know more about these kind of scenarios and sessions explained, keep subscribing to this DE Simplified channel for real world PySpark and data engineering explained clearly in a easy way. Hope you like this video. Like, share and subscribe once again. And thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.